A single envelope slipped from a carved mahogany desktop, and with that faint whisper of paper the delicate illusion of perfect pedigree inside Britain's court fractured. No trumpet sounded, no herald stepped forward, yet veteran footmen swore the chandeliers themselves seemed to sway when the news reached the marble hall, that a man long welcomed as His Serene Highness Dr. Donatus, Prince von Hohenzollern, might be nothing more than a brilliantly dressed fabrication. For 20 unbroken years the doctor had drifted through the highest circles of London society, presiding over charity galas beneath ceilings painted by Verrio, sampling Petrus in Belgravia dining rooms, appearing in orchestra programs beside platinum-embossed words patron, His Majesty King Charles III. He spoke 5 languages, cut checks with 6 zeros, and always, signed in lilac ink beneath a coat of arms bearing the Imperial Prussian eagle. At a 2019 garden party, a retired equerry watched the sovereign smile warmly as the doctor praised "our shared German heritage, sire," and thought little more of it. After all, the king's own family tree is thick with Teutonic branches. But 2 months ago, in a candle-cold archive in Kassel, genealogist Baron Henning von Bülow discovered an empty space where the doctor's baptism record should have been. Von Bülow wrote 3 stark lines to Prince Karl Friedrich, head of the historic House of Hohenzollern: no Donatus. No princely link. Possible imposture. The prince's reply, later leaked to the Frankfurter Allgemeine, was icily concise: begin verification immediately. Protect the name. Within a week the Baron's team had traced the man's bloodline to a traveling screwdriver salesman from Dortmund and an aunt once fined for forged checks. What they did not find, anywhere, was a lawful path into the mediatized house that once produced Prussian kings and German emperors. Tracing further, they reached a puzzling Berlin adoption deed dated 2003, executed by Princess Katharina Theodora von Hohenzollern, a cash-strapped octogenarian widow known in the family for her fondness for roulette tables in Baden-Baden. The notarized file stated she had adopted a 34-year-old stranger named Donatus Rainer in exchange for unspecified consideration. German noble statutes are merciless on such arrangements. Adoption grants a surname, not dynastic rank. Yet the newly minted prince immediately began styling himself Serene Highness and commissioned signet rings bearing the Hohenzollern royal crown. When Karl Friedrich confronted his aunt in 2004, she allegedly shrugged, "He paid my debts. A name costs me nothing." That single shrug has now spiraled into the most embarrassing infiltration of royal circles since Anthony Blunt painted Queen Elizabeth's portraits while passing secrets to Moscow in the 1960s. Because Dr. Donatus did not confine himself to society lunches. He became chairman of the Friends of the English Chamber Orchestra, an ensemble whose formal patron is the king. He pledged £750,000 to the Purcell School for Young Musicians at Bushey, another institution with the king's crest on its letterhead, and in return was listed on stationery alongside His Majesty. The impostor joined the Order of St. John, dined beside the Duke of Kent, and funded a restoration project at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, gifting a set of ebony hymn boards engraved Donatus P. V. Ho. Over 2 decades he built what intelligence officers call soft access corridors, subtle, unrecorded channels into high influence. He was photographed at Highgrove's autumn concert, whispered advice about German environmental charities to the then Prince of Wales, and once persuaded a dowager countess to part with a Holbein sketch for a planned Hohenzollern cultural wing in Potsdam. The sketch has not been seen since. When Prince Karl Friedrich's formal denunciation reached Buckingham Palace this spring, he assumed the doctor would be disinvited from royal orbit overnight. Instead, weeks passed. Court officials, mindful of recent missteps over Prince Andrew and still bruised by the Sussex media wars, quietly opened Operation Valkyrie, a hush-hush probe by the palace security unit codenamed Morningstar. Morningstar found the doctor's Dorset Manor contained 42 crates of objets d'art catalogued as Hohenzollern family archives. Customs manifests showed 12 crates shipped to a Zurich Freeport vault between 2015 and 2021. Interpol flagged €4.2 million in transfers from an Isle of Man shell to Dubai. Swiss lenders recorded collateral loans on continental dynastic treasures. As investigators trailed the paper, Britain's tabloid hounds scented blood. The Sun splashed, fake Prince Gate crashes King's Orchestra, beside an image of Charles raising a toast with donators at Spencer House in 2022. Buckingham's press office issued a midnight line: His Majesty meets thousands of supporters annually, vetting protocols remain under review. Too late, the public mood turned icy. YouGov polling recorded a 12-point dip in confidence in royal judgment. Republican membership spiked 8,000 overnight. Parliament's Public Accounts Committee demanded to know whether tax-advantaged charities had been duped. In Berlin, Bundestag deputies murmured about tightening control of noble titles. Madrid discreetly screened its court guest list. The Hague quietly withdrew invitations to anyone whose princely patents were dated post-1990. Inside London, Morning Star raced to plug the breach. Blue Bloodhound, an AI system that cross-checks 2.6 million European genealogical nodes, was activated for the first time. Within 48 hours it spat out 57 persons of interest, who had attended royal functions since 2010 while claiming dubious foreign nobility. 3 were already under HMRC scrutiny for philanthropic tax schemes. Meanwhile, the doctor vanished. He sold the Dorset Manor for cash, boarded a private jet to Nassau under the alias Don Rayner, and chartered a yacht, Serenissima, to the Exuma Keys. Interpol issued a red notice citing alleged heritage fraud, money laundering, and suspected trafficking of protected artworks. The press portrayed a tropical manhunt, royal courtiers gritted teeth fearing further embarrassments. Yet the deeper crisis, insiders whisper, is existential. If a counterfeit prince can glide unnoticed into the king's own circle, what does it say about the monarchy's ability to police the blur between tradition and vanity? Charles, half German by blood, fiercely proud of his Teutonic cousins, now finds that very heritage weaponized against his credibility. Sources close to St. James's say the monarch is personally wounded, recalling his mother's iron rule on authenticity: better to decline a gift than court a fraud. At Sandringham, Queen Camilla reportedly advised decisive transparency. Princess Anne, flinty as ever, suggested cancelling all future Friends of societies until vetting is watertight. But others worry: purge too publicly and the crown appears brittle, stay silent and the Republicans roar louder. Against this turmoil stands one cold fact: Princess Katerina's cash for adoption signature remains legally binding in German civil law, however ignoble its motive. Reversing the name right could take years of litigation, and meanwhile Dr. Donatus retains a passport stamped von Hohenzollern. So the palace turns to leverage it can control: titles at court. In a draft authenticity charter circulating through Privy Council channels, future invitations will require apostilled birth certificates, notarized lineage endorsements, and written confirmation from the head of any claimed house. No document, no damask-covered chair. Morningstar's algorithms now flash scan every gala guest against 70 European Gotha directories each dawn. Blue Bloodhound flags anomalies: a countess, whose real father ran a bar in Nice; a marquis, bankrolled by a crypto exchange; a princess, whose title was purchased via a micronation in the Adriatic. Discreet retractions follow. Champagne corks fall silent in Mayfair drawing rooms. Yet while procedures evolve, the hunt continues. Interpol believes the doctor plans to fly from a disused Eleuthera airstrip to Venezuela, beyond extradition. Bahamian police have taped off a half-loaded container containing 5 gilded frames and a silver monstrance marked, property of St. Hedwig Cathedral, Berlin, missing since 2014. If they secure an arrest before Wheels Up, some treasures may return, and the monarchy may salvage a measure of face. If he escapes, Republican campaigners will ensure every missing chalice becomes a symbol of royal gullibility. The clock ticks, the Caribbean night hums. Our crew has booked 2 seats on a Dawn seaplane, lenses cleaned, batteries loaded. When the sun crests pink over glass window bridge, we will be airborne, tracking wake turbulence in turquoise shallows. Will morning stars net tighten in time? Will the House of Windsor emerge reinforced by its new authenticity charter, or hollowed by the revelation that even in 2025, titles can still be bought, borrowed, or stolen? Stay with us. Each like tells the algorithm this story matters. Each subscription keeps you in the jump seat, as we follow the most audacious masquerade to ever rattle the royal gates. Next episode we unpack the shadow market where counterfeit counts purchase centuries-old surnames, and ask whether a coming garter service will showcase the crown's new steel, or reveal fresh cracks beneath the ermine.